Julien Laurens joins us because, Jules, this has come out of nowhere. Mo Salah might be going to Saudi Arabia.
Well, we expect a new offer from Ittihad. We know that the one from up to 150 million pound was rejected on the day on the final day of the transfer window last Friday, and they expected to come back with another even better offer of 200 million pound, maybe slightly even more, to try to tempt Mo Salah away from Liverpool. The line from Liverpool is still the same. He's not for sale. He's not going anywhere. We haven't heard from Mo Salah. We don't really know what he thinks, but Jurgen Klopp says that he doesn't want to leave anywhere. So I think the Saudis can try. It will not happen this time.
But Jules, surely Salah could just come out, tweet, Insta, do whatever he wants, MySpace, Friends for United, stick it wherever it is, and say, look, I want to stay here, and then that's the end of all of this.
He could, but he also doesn't have to. I mean, I think not saying anything also shows that he wants to stay. Otherwise, you could say the same for him coming out and say, I want to leave, I want to go to Saudi Arabia, I want to go to Ittihad, I want to play with Benzema. But that's not the case either. He played at the weekend, he played really well in that game against Villa. I don't think they would have played him if they wanted to sell him to start with. I think Jurgen Klopp was pretty affirmative after the game that he was not going anywhere. And again, why is this offer coming now? I think if they had made that offer a month ago, maybe Liverpool would be in a different situation. Now, even for 200 million pounds, you can lose Salah, but you can't replace him. So it doesn't make any sense, certainly sporting-wise. In terms of business, of course, your club would be healthier with that amount of money in their bank account. But it's not all about business, and I think Liverpool have recognised that. And they also know that in a year's time, the money will still be there from the Saudis. Salah will be a year older with only 1 year left on his contract, and then I expect him to go.
Maybe he wants to grow the game.
Oh, no, let's not go down the Henderson road.
Is Jordan Henderson in the running order?
Oh, no, he's not.
Right, let's mention...
No, I didn't want to go down that road.
Why?
Because it's just...
Well, Jordan Henderson, who's in the England squad, why he's in there, I don't know, has said, part of the interview he gave, he said he's gone there, he wants to grow the game. I mean, what a world we live in.
Oh, that's clearly nonsense.
That is the world we live in. So we're talking about footballers, Salah, why wouldn't he do this? Why wouldn't he do that? Why wouldn't he let his fans know, blah, 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 either way. Here we have a guy who you would think would have a bit of nous and common sense and a few brain cells in there after the career he's had dealing with the media and all that goes with being an elite sportsman, trying to wash it away by saying, I'm going to grow the game. He's gone for the money. And Mo Salah, that would be the same thing. Now, whether Liverpool get an amount of money and say, oh, this is too much, we need to take this, and then they go to Salah and he says, I don't want to go, that could very well happen. But ultimately, if Salah goes and Liverpool take the money, it is all about the money. I sincerely hope he doesn't go. And I've heard a few people saying, oh, is this a big concern for the Premier League? And I don't think so. I mean, I don't think eventually we'll see... like a conveyor belt of all the top stars gone. I think a lot of players around Europe's elite leagues have a wee bit more about them than just the money, particularly when they're at, you know, a younger stage of their career or the peak of the career. And if guys that are slightly older, and Salah is certainly in that bracket, want to do it, then so be it.
I understand what Jules is saying, transfer window's now closed, but 200 plus for a player with 2 years left on his contract is an awful lot of money to turn down. Salah, the wrong side of 30.
What about Jules' point as well, though? You can still get the money at the end of this season.
Well, with a year left, I'm not sure that you get that much money. He's got 2 years left, so you've got to make the offer something that moves the needle for Liverpool.
But Shaq, I don't think these people in Saudi Arabia even look at terms of contract. They just come in with a bundle of cash and go, let's see if this works.
I agree. Listen, the money makes no sense. It's hard to justify, but at the same time, if you feel that it takes 200 million to pry him away from Liverpool with 2 years left, in a year's time, you might be willing to come back at 150 or 104, whatever it may be. But it's certainly regressing at this point. Once you get to within a year, it's less money, surely, even though money is no object. As far as Salah goes, I think he's playing this absolutely perfectly. I don't think he needs to say anything.
Why not?
Why should he?
Just to stop it. Boom, done. Then
it's out of his hands.
It's not out of his hands. He could say, I don't want to go, and that's it.
So what I'm saying is, he's staying in Liverpool, he's playing well for Liverpool, everybody at Liverpool is happy. He's not saying anything, so the Saudis have no reason to think otherwise, to think any less of him, that they shouldn't come back, for argument's sake, in a year's time with 150 million. For all the times that players have kind of opened their mouths and done interviews or said something on social media that I think has come back to harm them, sometimes the best thing to do is just nothing. And Salah, for me, is playing this perfectly. Everybody's happy with their positions as far as Salah goes.
And what people should realise is even if a club was to come back in with an obscene amount of money to Liverpool, let's say 250 million, there is no obligation for Mo Salah to go, right? And people should remember this, that you know, and back in the old days, you know, when players had less power, we saw clubs, and I've seen it myself, trying to sort of force players out and so they can get the money. Those days are not completely gone, but they're a long way to being gone. So if it's just about the football, even if they come back with the money and Liverpool go, oh, that's too much to turn down, you have to go to the player and say, we have this move on. And if he says, I don't want to go there, I want to play elite level football, I want to play at the highest level, and we'll think about this in 12 or 18 months' time. He has that power.
Jules, you mentioned the sporting aspects of it all, that if Salah goes, who do you replace him with? Do they need him to finish top four?
I think they do. For me, he's still the best forward that they have, and they have many options, of course. Jota, Diaz, Darwin, Gakpo. Even if he goes, you can still have a very decent front three, of course. But let's not forget how long it took them to recover from Mane leaving. And the Mane transfer was very much their own doing. They didn't want to give him the same contract as Salah. They could not do it. They put him on the transfer list. He went to Bayern Munich, and after that, they struggled. They struggled badly until they could kind of find their way again and just about miss the top four. If they lose Salah, they might have the same problem again. And that time, it may take them even longer to recover and adapt without him like they had to do without Mane. So I think they also know that it's a lot of money, okay, of course it is. But it's not just about the money. When you are in a big season, it's a huge season for Liverpool. If they miss out again on Champions League, this could have big consequences for them. And I think Jurgen Klopp would walk. I promise you, he would walk if they sell Salah clearly against his will, because Jurgen Klopp has been quite vocal about the fact that he didn't want Salah to go anywhere, that he was not ready to let him go, and that the club was also happy to keep him. So if they go against that to sell him, then I think Klopp will be very, very angry.
The word loyalty, I don't think... Could we use the word loyalty these days?
Sparingly.
Yeah. But I think, just to ride on the back of Jules' point there, you know, those two players were up for new contracts. Clearly, that was problematic for Liverpool. Salah got... I'm not suggesting he got exactly what he wanted, but he got a huge deal from Liverpool Football Club. They pushed the boat out to keep their star man. And you do feel that there has to be some sense of loyalty from Salah's perspective, that Liverpool did look after him. And I think when you put all those things together, I mean, he would, as a player, and I don't begrudge anybody moving, but once a club have given you this bumper deal, you would be leaving the club and, more importantly, your teammates and the manager in the lurch. Now, if you want to do that for the money, that's fine. But not off the back, surely off the back. I've won the report.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.